Striking.
Well, it is a movement that in some ways is sweeping the nation, but in other ways it is still fairly undefined. Occupy Wall Street is moving into its third week, and by Saturday there will be protesters gathering here in the tri-state for Occupy Cincinnati. So what is this movement really about? Ben has the reality check.
Well, the movement is picking up speed and growing in numbers. Marches continue in New York City, where up to 20,000 people have been taking part. So who are the people behind Occupy Wall Street? They're using a number of slogans, including one called "We are the 99%." But what are these protesters hoping to accomplish? What is the end game here? Well, honestly, I don't know. So helping me out tonight with Reality Check is Erik Crew with Occupy Cincinnati. Erik, thanks for coming in and taking some time to talk with us this evening.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about Occupy Cincinnati. For people out there who say, I really don't understand what the Occupy movement is all about, and I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those people. What is this movement and what is Occupy Cincinnati about?
The goal of Occupy Cincinnati is to gather peaceably and say that corporate economic power has too much sway in our political process. And as a result of that, profit is motivating our government instead of the people's interest. And that has to change.
Online, and I've had a lot of people sending me links to the supposed list of demands that Occupy Wall Street has put together. I was looking through that list today, and one of the things I saw on the Occupy Wall Street site is that proposed list of demands is really not accurate. One person came up with this. It's not been agreed upon by any group.
There is not a list of demands for Occupy Cincinnati. One of the great, beautiful things about this movement is that it's group decision-making modeled, it's consensus-driven. Really, Saturday at 11 a.m. at Lytle Park is the beginning for Occupy Cincinnati. One of the things we're going to do there is have a General Assembly where people, anyone, no matter your class, your race, your religion, your political ideology, can come and help shape exactly how Occupy Cincinnati will try and reach that goal.
Is there any one voice? Is there any one idea of what you guys want to accomplish through all of this?
There are specific issues for each individual that comes to these that's coming to the Occupy movement. But in terms of there being a single individual issue that we're pursuing, no. We're not a single issue movement. Part of the problem with the political process now is that it asks people, complex people, to divide themselves into single issues. And really, who has the most influence with single issues? Lobbyists who are bought with corporate dollars.
If you want to combat the power of corporation, especially in politics, one of the ways to do that would be to stop buying from corporations, stop buying products that they create. I mean, isn't that really where the mass of people have the most power, is through purchasing power in this economy?
I mean, consumer power is part of this whole puzzle, but it's just a piece.
How do you prevent this movement from being hijacked by some special interest group or by some political group who comes in and says, here are a bunch of people who are passionate and they really want to see change, and I'm going to try to steer them into my particular political persuasion or into what I want? How do you prevent this movement from being hijacked?
It's a great question. It's certainly a question we're very conscious of. I think one of the things you do at the outset, you lay out your principles and you stick to those principles.
But you do realize there are people right now who want to and are already working to hijack this movement on some level. Or you don't think so?
Well, you know, I mean, Occupy Cincinnati, like I said, is just in the beginning, starting on Saturday. Like I said, I think that's a great question. It is something we're conscious of and will be very sure to protect against.
Erik, thanks for coming in and talking with us.
If you'd like to make your voice heard on the story, you can comment on Ben's Facebook page. Just search Ben Swan, WXIX.
I just want to say thanks to Erik for coming in, and he's a stand-up guy, for doing that interview. And we're going to keep an eye on him and see what's happening with Occupy Cincinnati. Appreciate his time tonight.